Okay, we got a problem. And it's with one episode of The Point. Actually, it's pretty problematic and stupid as it is, but I'm going to focus on this one. It's called Bullies, Daniel Tosh Rape Joke, and Lotteries. Okay, so... Okay, I just want to point out, though, one of the most stupid things about this whole Point thing is... How can I put this lightly? They have no representation on there. It's just a bunch of white people, clueless white people, mind you, in a room, sitting around a table trying to make sense of life. You know, they all feel like they have these important little titles, but at the end of the day, they're so oblivious and so ignorant and so unknowingly racist in a sheltered kind of way. And let me point out a couple of examples. The first example is when you have that one lady, she's a lawyer or attorney, whatever.
That popular media is teaching our kids to be arrogant, to act as though they're better than everyone else. 2/3 of our most popular rap and hip-hop music advocates violence, especially gun violence, misogyny, beating up, even murdering gay men. And these are the biggest music companies in the world that are pumping this stuff out. And this is what our kids are listening to in their earbuds.
How often does this happen? What is this, the 90s? She's pointing out to hip-hop and rap and how evil it is and how misogynistic and how scary, you know, we must be scared of, you know, black men or hip-hop artists, whatever. It's like that train has already been rode. That's back in the 90s. What the fuck is 2012? Why are you still on that shit? And of course it has to be this white feminist lady attacking hip-hop. It's like, you know how much that role has been played? Move on. And you know what the thing is, she constantly attacks hip-hop and rap as if it were entirely a bad thing, saying like, look, okay, our kids listen to this, and you know they're gonna want to shoot other things, and they want to bully people. It's like, come on, really. And you know what the thing that bugs me is the one counterexample that Anna brings up.
Makes me appreciate Lady Gaga a little more. Yeah, she's a little ridiculous with her apparel, but at the same time, she does stand for something.
It's Lady Gaga. Ooh, a white artist. Like, why not fucking counter it with somebody who brings a positive image too? Lupe Fiasco, there's a lot of names out there. Come the fuck on. They stand for something positive. Oh, but no, because they're so blind, and they're so blind they don't even know that they are sheltered in their own little bubble. The thing is, if they had diversity, what happens? Where's that one guy? The guy who was always in back with the dreads. You know, why didn't they bring him? You know, it's sad, but that's the only kind of diversity that they really have. It's really sad, and I know they try to put themselves out as, you know, this really liberal group of people. But it's white liberalism. You know, I don't mean to put a color on it or a color on it, but really, it's just as, you know. 99% fuck the top 1%, you know, neo-hippie type fucking organic, you know, fuck big corporations type movement. That's white liberalism. That's what I think it is, you know. Oftentimes they only focus on these select issues and they completely ignore people of color issues. And sometimes they even attack it. In the case of her attacking hip-hop, right? It's like, come on, how could you be so ignorant and naive? And some of the language they use is really, really problematic too, and I don't expect them to know it, but come on, this is common sense. They're talking about bullies, they're talking about children. They say this. I'll play you the clip right here.
On the one hand, it is a natural human impulse. You know, as a mom, I know that kids are basically savages, and it's our job to civilize them. And they're going to punch and, you know, shove and pull hair.
She says children are savages that need to be civilized. Is this a fucking, what is it, the 17th century? Is this 1492? What is this, the 1600s, 1700s, back in the mission area? Who uses that kind of talk in everyday language in a nice or in some kind of colloquial way? Who says, okay, you're a savage and needs to be civilized, you know? Okay, put on my hat. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. No, but really. Okay, the word savages and civilizing go back to the days when, you know, they first encountered natives and they were like, savage. You're a savage. You know, let me civilize you with my superior ways of corporate greed and stealing your land. You are a savage. Let me take your children and put them in boarding schools and civilize them. Do not speak your language. Savages that need to be civilized. That's where that comes from. I feel like the fucking Geico caveman. It's like, did she really just fucking say that?
It'd be offensive if it's true.
Okay, first of all, I'm not 100% in love with your tone right now.
Tone aside, historically, you guys have struggled to adapt.
Yeah, right. Walking upright, discovering fire, inventing the wheel, laying the foundation for all mankind. You're right. Good point. Sorry we couldn't get that to you sooner.
Connie, your reaction?
Sounds like someone woke up on the wrong side of the rock.
And to continue off of this whole like being racist against natives thing, they bring up a bunch of other points. He says like, oh, you know, these people, they act tribal. This was kind of a tribal thing.
I think of bullying as something that happens among peers and is, you know, a sort of tribal behavior, not...
Like, am I gonna have to go on fucking CNN and defend this shit? Like, really? Like, I feel like the Geico caveman walking around... I feel like she just said, it's so easy, a caveman can do it. And I'm standing up. You hear what the fuck she just said? But really, nothing but a bunch of dumb people, dumb, ignorant people on here. Okay, and this guy, he doesn't even make sense. Try following his conversation.
And also, you know, when you talk about arrogance, and swagger is a great word, because I think not just in our popular culture, but we're coming off of the last decade of America, you know, promoting swagger.
Yes.
You know, there's the classic shot of George W. Bush in the flight suit, and bullying and those kind of things are encouraged. There's this whole sensibility of, you know, we're number one, and anyone who, you know, they say Obama apologizes for America because anyone who points out anything that's wrong with anything in our country, there's a lot of bullies in all aspects in our culture, and adults too, especially.
You know,
it just doesn't connect. He goes from one point and then he goes, and then you have this, and then you have this, and then you have this, and they don't connect. Usually when you do that, you know, they kind of connect. Sometimes it'll like deviate a little bit, but they don't connect whatsoever. Where do they get these people? He's a comedian. Okay, and so my whole point is that they really need, if they really want to be as well-rounded as whatever the fuck they claim to be, if they want to be something other than Fox, if they want to be something other than CNN, if they want to be something other than the norm, then they really, really got to take a look at the mirror and challenge themselves to just think outside the little white box. Just think outside their boxes. Be like, you know what? I think this would work, and I think this would work, but what am I missing? What am I missing? Am I possibly thinking in any kind of biased way? Am I shaking my fucking head too much? Because I'm pissed. Okay, so that's my point. Point understood? I hope so.